Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Ava Smith, and it is such an honor to speak with you today. I would personally like to thank Mr. Paul Stockland for allowing me this opportunity. Now, I know you didn't expect for your senior athletic banquet to be virtual. However, when life throws you a curveball, you take that opportunity, you knock it out the park. So today, I really hope that some of my words resonate with you. As a former women's college and semi-professional basketball player, even though I still like to think in my age right now, I still have it just a little bit. I too was once sitting exactly where you are today. A senior in high school, sad my high school varsity career has come to an end, but also anxious about stepping into unfamiliar territory as a collegiate athlete. For some of you, this may be the end of your playing competitive sports, but for some of you, this may not be the case. Regardless, whatever your situation is, there are so many experiences that you've had that you're able to take with you along your journey in life. As athletes, we love to compete. It's just in our nature. See, I can remember the many challenges I had to overcome as an athlete. The losing seasons, the season-ending injuries, the lack of team chemistry at times, and even just the lack of effort from your teammates giving 100%, whether it was in practice or even in a game. I am sure many of you can relate to these adversities, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the powerful thing is, you're still standing. So I'll tell you a little story about adversity. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was my junior year at St. Louis University, and we were playing East Carolina University. I had the task of guarding one of the best guards on their team. We had just scored a basket, and I was backpedaling down the court. I heard the point guard call out a play that we had just covered in shoot-around that morning. I knew the play like the back of my hand. To say the least, I was ready. The point guard came down the court and handed the ball off to the young lady that I was guarding. Now, I knew the other players on the team were set up in a box. One player on each end of the free throw line and one post player on each of the blocks of the free throw lane. Whichever side the player with the ball decided to go, that ball side bottom post player screened opposite for the other post player and then cleared out the lane, and the opposite side guard popped out to the wing. The ball side guard and post player both stepped out to set a staggering double screen for the player with the ball, which was the one I was guarding. The objective was for the ball handler to drive to the basket and score. Once the play was called, I was in position. My coach had already shown me how to play the play, and she always preached over and over, don't get screened. I'm sure many of you can relate if you played basketball, right? Well, I had studied the scouting report to know the young lady was only shooting 20% from behind the three-point line, but most of her points came near the basket. So as the play is in motion, I go underneath both screens and I'm standing on the block waiting on her to drive. She drives, elevates, then bam! I took a charge. It happened so fast. It was a blur after that. In the midst of the play, she freakishly fell on top of me, breaking her arm and just leaving me on the floor. I couldn't move anything. Long story short, the doctor said I literally had no feeling in my arms or my legs for about 3 hours. And I had so much fluid on my brain from the impact of my head hitting the floor and her landing on top of me. It's a miracle I'm still here today. I'm so thankful though. I said all of that to say, things happen. Life happens, things beyond our control. Needless to say, I was out for the rest of my junior year. It was a difficult time. I felt like giving up because I felt like I had no control. But in actuality, I had all the control in the world. I just didn't fully understand it until I got older and wiser. So today, I live by 4 principles. The SHE principles. SHE stands for strong, humble, effective, and influencer. You may have heard those words before, but maybe not the principles put quite like that. I wrote the book, The SHE Principles, almost a year ago. These 4 principles will help you in your journey after high school and beyond. The first principle is strong. The ability to be strong means you have the willpower to push past your comfort zone and your limits. This is where mental toughness comes into play. Being strong means you have the ability to resist, manage, and overcome any doubts, any worries, concerns, or even circumstances that prevent you from succeeding or excelling. You must have a winner's mindset. The second principle is humble. Some people may say that having humility is associated with being insecure or being passive or even submissive. However, being humble means being confident in yourself. You have situational awareness and are able to maintain any relationship you may go through, make difficult decisions, help others willingly, and listen. Listening is extremely important. Humble people accept feedback. This is where you hear your coaches say, be coachable, right? They remain calm in tough situations. They ask for help. They accept responsibility for their decisions and actions. That is extremely key. Accept responsibility for your decisions and your actions. And you're often kind to others. Having humility will allow you to excel in leadership, perform at a high level, and become mindful. It takes work though. You never compare yourself to anyone else, but be grateful for who you are and your present situation. Humility will open doors for you that you thought never existed. The third principle of the she effect is effective. Effective people execute and they produce. Effective people practice avoiding 3 C's: criticizing, comparing, and complaining. Let me say those again: criticizing, comparing, and complaining. Unconstructive criticism does not promote improvement or advancement. It's extremely important that you're able to take constructive criticism, okay? Comparing yourself to someone else is a sense of judging yourself for not measuring up to someone else. Never compare yourself to anyone. You are your own self. This is self-sabotage. You don't need it. Complaining rewires your brain for negativity. If you are repeatedly complaining, you can find it easier to be negative than positive, regardless of the positivity that's around you. You can be around the most positive person, but if you're negative in your mental state, you will continue to do so. Keep in mind, no one has an unlimited supply. So do not waste your time on things that you have no ability to impact or control. Some things you just can't. So don't waste your time on those things. Effective people are diligent, proactive, and they know how to stay focused. So the fourth and final principle of the She Principles is influencer. An influencer is an individual who can inspire others. To establish yourself as an influencer, you need to interact with other influencers, right? Influencers build relationships with people. They lead by example. They add value to others. They share their wisdom. Don't be afraid to do that. And don't be afraid to take other wisdom in. Don't take shortcuts. I can't stress this enough. Do not cheat yourself out of something. Work for it. Don't take the shortcuts. One of the most important aspects of being an influencer is not just investing in your own development, but others as well. So you invest in yourself, but you invest in others at the same time. Keep in mind, becoming a she takes work. It does not happen overnight. How you do anything is how you do everything. That's very key and important. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you go 100% in the classroom and your studies, you should go 100% on the basketball court, on the football field, playing hockey, playing lacrosse. It doesn't matter what the sport is. Swimming. It could be basket weaving. How you do anything is how you do everything. Be consistent in anything you do. Your hard work will pay off when you least expect it. I hope that I've said something today that will motivate you to keep going and pushing towards excellence. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Now go be great.